Oh man, my head's killing me. I can't believe I drank that engine degreaser last night. I can't remember a thing that happened. Oh. Dude! Where's my factory? Hi everybody. As you can see, the lawn factory is no more. It was dismantled in an episode 3 that no one will ever see because the quality was so god-awful, I was embarrassed to put it out to the public. One of the things that we did during that episode was dismantle the lawn factory, and it was really riveting gameplay, let me tell you, so you're not missing anything. Anywho, all of the stuff that was in the lawn factory has been nicely sorted into these bins here. As well as our our solid biofuel production line is completely done. That much time has passed in-game that I ran through the entire supply of leaves and wood that we had. And they are now nicely stacked here as solid biofuel that hopefully we will not need to go collect more of and set up another line in the future. What we're going to be doing today is hopefully having a much more structured episode than I did previously. One of the things we're going to be doing is we're going to go have a nice little montage of me pushing red buttons because I completed all of the tier 1 and the tier 2 milestones, and then after that I'm going to do a brief overview of everything that's in each of these milestones, and after that we are going to reconstruct our factory as a proper, beautiful, and orderly factory. Alright, let's get to it. Pushing the red button is very satisfying. Whoever designed that, amazing. The big red button, the sound it makes, chef's kiss, so good. So now we're going to do an overview of all of the milestones we just unlocked here. So the first one, base building. Does what it says on the tin. Unlocks foundations, ramps, basic walls. All the bare necessities you need to start making structures. Great. Also includes the lookout tower. You know, you get up high, you get a nice overview of an area when you're building. Very useful. Logistics, we've already unlocked this ages ago. You know, it's got the mergers and splitters and the conveyor lift, which we haven't made use of yet. Next one, field research. This unlocks the map. Hit M, come up here. You can see all of the area that I've revealed or I've been to before. So mostly this was just for me running around murdering trees. You know, we'll talk more about that later. You can put down markers and stuff. You can, when you find nodes and resources and whatnot, but for now, we'll just leave this alone. All right, and we'll go back to over here, back to the field research. Also unlocks the MAM, which is the molecular analysis machine. This is your research tree. There's various things you can research. We will talk about that later. The object scanner, which helps you find certain objects in the world, such as the power slugs that you'd seen around various places on the map. Don't have to worry about that right now. Personal storage box, just a box, okay? The beacon, don't worry about that. That's actually getting removed from the game, I think. Oh, actually, it even says that right there. Extra hand slot, so you can have the chainsaw and the taser equipped at the same time. You can just swap back and forth between them, no problem, instead of having to go hit Q and then take it out of your inventory and hand stack it in there. You now have 2 hand slots, pretty useful, and extra inventory slots. Great. So field research, wonderful milestone to unlock. Next, here in tier 2, we've got part assembly. Comes with the assembler, which is a more advanced constructor. It has 2 inputs to it, so you can make more advanced things like the rotors here, the modular frames, and smart plating. We're not gonna worry about these right now because they're not relevant. Also unlocks copper sheets, which is just another copper product that we will need in the future for making pipes when they become relevant. Obstacle clearing, we've already seen this. This is where we get the solid biofuel and the chainsaw. Great. Jump pads. I unlocked this, but I'm probably never going to use it. It also sucked because I handcrafted these 50 rotors, and they took forever. Next is the awesome sink, which is kind of how you unlock cosmetics and other things. I actually have the machine set up right outside the hub here as a demonstration real quick. Also, why is it dark? What the hell? So the awesome sink here, you feed materials that you do not need or that you're just producing in excess of, and it'll generate coupons for you. And you can take those coupons and you can use them here in the awesome shop. Basically, it lets you unlock all kinds of stuff, like wall hanging power outlets, so we don't have to have the ones that are on the ground. It unlocks more ramps and different kinds of things like that. Different kinds of walls with windows, walls that have conveyor slots in them, windows, beams, pillars, railings, you know, all kinds of stuff. I'm not gonna name everything in here. Different, you know, there's just all kinds of stuff we can unlock, mostly to make your builds look cooler, honestly, and not just look like square blobs. All right, back into here. So let's see, what else did it unlock? So it unlocked the color cartridge, so we can also paint structures different colors now. Also, not going to worry about that for the moment. And at the end of last episode, we were talking about Logistics Mark II, which we needed the Mark II belt so we could increase the production rate of our solid biomass line. But obviously that's not particularly relevant now because there is no solid biomass line. However, these Mark II belts will come in handy when it comes to our screw production and making sure we can feed all of that into a single line. Alright, so that covers all of the milestones. Alright, the next thing I wanted to talk about real quick was the MAM. So this is our research tree. So there's different kinds of I don't know, lines of research we can go down, and they'll unlock various things. I won't go into the weeds of all of these just yet. I've actually done some of the unlocks. The most important one that I'm going to talk about right now is for the power slugs, which unlocks overclocking and underclocking. Now this is important because it'll help make machines that are running inefficiently just because they can't get enough resources, or you just need to change the numbers to balance something out and get the correct number you want. Overclocking or underclocking a machine can come in really handy. So what you do is you take your power slugs and then you can turn them into power shards. And with these power shards, let's see, let me grab power shard. You can take it over to a machine, and you can you could throw it into this machine, and then you could overclock it to 150%. Now for our concrete production, that is completely useless. In fact, overclocking it is bad because if you'll recall, these miners, they're spitting out 30 limestone a minute. However, the machine wants, actually let me just bump it up back to 100 real quick. It wants 45 limestone a minute. However, we can't get that. But watch what we do here. If we drop this down to 66.7%, now it only requires 30.01 limestone a minute. And so now it is perfectly efficient for what the node that it is connected to can do. But you'll also notice it's doing 66% of the work, but it's using almost half the power. So it's great. Underclocking is great for saving power, and the opposite is true. When you overclock something, it really ramps up the amount of power it uses. But if you're not having any power problems, then you don't really have to worry about that at all. Alright, I think that is the only thing in the MAM I wanted to talk about right now, so we'll skip on from here. Alright, and here we go. We're going to start the construction. Let's go up the tower here, and we'll start building from up here. Hang on, I made this. Alright, so, one thing to note. If you're new to the game, If you hit control, it will snap you to the world grid. Now, you don't have to build this way, but it'll make your life much easier when you're trying to connect other builds together in the future. So everything should theoretically line up nicely. All right, so let's go and, oop, hang on, I want to change this over to zooping. Zooping just lets you lay down more than one thing at a time. So we'll go all the way across here, all the way across there. Lay this out nice and neatly. It only lets you do a max of 10 at a time, but that's all right. So, I think that's too wide, but that's fine for now. That stupid rock is actually kind of annoying where it's located, but that's all right. We'll deal with it for now. All right. Actually, it looks like I screwed up over there. Hang on. I did. I did not do that right. All right. Well, time to dismantle these. Goodbye. 4 meters there. There you go. There we go. And I think that's actually good. If we need to expand it out further in the future, I will do so. All right, now to lay down our miners. Now, one tip I can give you also is that when you're laying down your... Oh, let me find out where it is. It's over here. If you're trying to put down a miner on a 4-meter foundation, it doesn't seem to want to actually hook in. Like the other nodes here, it should snap to it, and the other one's right there, and it should snap to it, but it doesn't, just for whatever reason. But if you remove one of the foundations that is near the node, they seem to have no problem figuring it out from there. So let's just go over here. We'll remove a foundation. I didn't hotbar the miners because you don't build them a ton. So that's fine. All right. And the last one. All right. Where are you? Oh yeah, you're actually way farther up this way than you should be. Now this one we're going to put sideways for a reason I will mention in a moment. Now this stupid rock here makes trying to build this third line straight out kind of annoying and impossible. So this one's gonna have to come over a little bit, and you know, it's all right. So let me start laying out our smelters. So this is gonna be one of the iron plate lines. So let's just line it up in the middle. Nope, still lined up. All right, so we're gonna line that up in the middle. Gonna line you up in the middle. So there's the 2 smelters for that one. This one, its 2 smelters are gonna go right here. And then your smelters are, this is gonna be the iron rod and the screw production, so I need a little bit more space over here. So everything should work out, though, as far as distances. Oh, I did screw that up. Alright, so that should be lined up. So, should go smelter, constructor, smelter, constructor, smelter, constructor, smelter, constructor. And then we should have 4 constructors here. So that is all the space we need. So let's lay out the constructors. Make sure got you where we want you. I think that'll do. And then can you zoop these? Actually, no. Can you zoop these? Sample building, quick switch. Nope. I don't see something that says you can, but... Oh, actually, right mouse. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. So I guess we'll just have to build them all one at a time. That's fine. Ah, crap. Gotta make sure everything's nice and lined up and pretty. You, for you, and there we go. All right, there's all 8 of our constructors all lined up and ready to go. And then from here, since these are going to be our iron plates, you know, the iron plates actually do 20 output a minute. We can combine all 4 of them into one line and throw them into a singular box, which I think we are going to do. So we're gonna bring them over to here and we'll set down a box, which I have hotkeys for if I ever remember them. And then we'll just line you up there. So that can go there. And then these 2 will be for our iron rods. Connect them up there. And then I'm going to do something a little bit different for the screw production. The screws, we need another set of constructors, so do 3 here. And then they will get their own box. Well, it would have been nice if I could have tucked it in here and these all came, but I think I'll put the box. Yeah, I'll just put the box over here somewhere. Just have them all come around like this, I think. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, so that box is gonna come out. I think that's centered. Did we do that right? Alright, we got it right. Very good. Alright, so all 3 of the boxes will be right near each other, which will be nice and convenient. Now, one thing I wanted to mention is I actually screwed up our screw production. I didn't really badly screw it up, but I did make it so it was less than ideal. And I will show you how in a moment. The way I had it set up is I had the... Well, actually, these are mergers, but I'll just place them down to demonstrate. I had the 2 splitters over here, and then I had the one line going in there, another one going into the middle here, one going there, and another one coming here. So each line was only getting 7.5 screws, but each machine requires 10 a minute. So until this one in the middle here completely filled up on... Oop, that's not what I wanted. Till this one filled up completely on its iron rods, the other 2 were working less than optimally. So thank you for the comment on that. I really appreciate it. And this time we will set it up properly. Alright, so the way you should have set it up is... let's see, we'll bring you here. This is a merger. No, we want a splitter. I'm going to split these off. So let's go 1, 2 back. Just so we get a perfect angle there. Connect you up, connect you up. 1, 2 back. Connect you up. And then on this spot here, we will do a merger. And then we'll have these 2 lines merge into one line and then go and split, which is just better overall way to do it. All right. Very good. Oop. I'm trying to jump on here, but I'm failing. All right. So the hooking up, so this is all the machines. All the machines are now down again. The only thing left to do is get all of the cables for the power and all of the conveyor belts set up. All the conveyor belts are hooked up, all the productions are set, all the power poles are in place, and everything is functioning at 100% efficiency. So the factory is looking beautiful right now. So the next thing we are going to do is we are actually going to start working on our reinforced iron plates and rotor production. But let's go take a peek down at the bottom here real quick and we'll see what's going on. Ugh. Alright, so if we come over here, at the end of our line here, we've got our 120 screws coming out of here and flowing into this container. This belt is a Mark II since you got 240 screw lines coming in here, and that requires a Mark II. And then obviously the 3 of them together needs a Mark II for the 120, so very good. Now over here we've got all 4 of the constructors hooked up, making 80 reinforced iron plates a minute. So those are all also requiring a Mark II belt. And then our leftover iron rods currently making 30 a minute. So let's start thinking about our second floor here. We're gonna do all of our rotors, our rotor production, and our reinforced iron plate production on our second floor here. So we're gonna want to go up a floor. So let's see, how tall do we want our walls here? Pretty sure if you only go 2 high, you've got things sticking out through there. So we'll go 3 high as the norm. And I'm not gonna worry about closing up the structure completely right now. It's gonna get some walls in place so it doesn't look completely silly. And then we will see about how we're gonna get onto the next floor. Alright. So I think we'll just build a ramp stairwell up this way for now. Call that good until we unlock stairs or something similar. We'll do a one width. Oh, I need concrete. Always need concrete. There's never enough concrete. So let's go run over there real quick. Alright, let's see what else do we have. Sort. Yeah, got that. Could probably use some more iron plate if we're being honest here. Alright. Go over to where our ramp is. Honestly, I probably should have built it on the other side, but oh well. I could always fix that later. Alright, so here is our floor, which is indeed a nice height. So we'll just drag this out, drag that out. Alright. Not too shabby. I'm not 100% sure what I want to do over where the miners are. I might actually want to start... I want to maybe keep the miners like outside as their own thing rather than an actual part of the building. But that would probably require moving all of this machinery, which I'm not sure I want to do anymore. So I'll have to think about that. But right now I just want to get a roof on this place and we'll go from there. Alright. There we go. So now we have a second floor. And until we unlock a certain thing in the Awesome Shop, which is mainly the floor holes, we're gonna have to just make do and bring up our lines directly through an actual hole. Now, the thing we're going to be doing is we're going to be building our assemblers here, which I don't have any rotors for. So let me build some rotors real quick. I crafted the rotors, and I made this very convenient ramp that'll take me from the second floor here all the way over to the hub. It's very nice. And then I was fiddling around with where I wanted to set up these assemblers, and I noticed a minor problem that some of the more experienced people with this game are going to notice and probably be screaming at me in the comments for. But the rotor recipe here requires 20 iron rods a minute. Okay, no problem. And 100 screws per minute. Also, not much of a problem. However, the reinforced iron plates requires 30 iron plates a minute. Great, easy, can do that. However, it requires 60 screws a minute. And if you're doing the math on that, that means we need 160 screws per minute. Whereas right now we only make 120. So we have a little deficit there when it comes to our screw production. So we're gonna have to fix that. Which means I have to do a little redesign of the factory downstairs, which is incredibly dark because Lumen is on. So I'm gonna go fix the factory real quick. Okay, factory rebuild is complete. I also turned Lumen off just so we can actually see something until I can unlock lights at some point. So, first things first. Instead of making iron rods over here, those 30 iron rods are now being turned into an additional 120 screws, which are being fed up this way. I unlocked the floor holes so that we can get up to the second floor there. I also unlocked the staircase here, which I'm not sure if I like or not. We'll see. That may or may not be there the next episode. What I had to do is I had to cut our iron plate production down from 80 units a minute down to 60 units, and these are being fed up there. And then over here I took the one smelter that was making the other iron plates, and I turned it into a line of an additional 30 iron rods. So let us head upstairs for a moment and see what's going on up there. Alright, so up here there is a lot of stuff going on. I have 3 assemblers up and running right now. I've got 1 and 2 making reinforced iron plates, and I have a 3rd one making rotors. I had to do some oh, and also here is the awesome sink. I just was throwing, I have so many screws, it is actually ridiculous. So I just been throwing excess screws into the thing to get us some tickets so that we can unlock some stuff. Yeah, so here's one thing I wanted to show you guys. So if you recall, the rotors require 20 iron rods a minute. I am producing 30, so I brought them up over here. I split it off 3 ways, had 2 of them merge back here and go into the assembler, while the other one headed out this way, while the other 10 excess head out this way into a bin over here. And I also have the excess screws that we're producing. We're producing an excess amount of screws, currently only 20, but they are going into this bin here. And also I just have bins here for the rotors, I have bins here for the reinforced iron plates, and then I've got some space over here for some future expansion. And yeah, so that's what I've been up to. This actually took a long time. I went back and forth about 3 different setups on how I wanted to do this, and also the best way to split the screws. Honestly, the way I ended up doing it is just the easiest, and you know, I should have thought of this in the first place. So I needed 100 screws for the rotors, right? So I've got 40 here, 40 here, and then I had 40 here. So I don't know, why don't I just split them in half, and then I've got 20 going that way, and I got 20 going this way. And then where we go? There we go, 100, piece of cake. Yeah, I was trying all kinds of weird things to get this 100 before I finally dawned on me to try this solution. One last thing before I end the episode. So, I need your guys' feedback on what we are going to do with the copper. Are we going to bring the copper over here and combine it with this factory, maybe put it on its own floor, or do a little extension over here? Or should we build its own factory up there? Also, speaking of copper, there is much more copper around. There is copper down this way, about 400 meters. One more node. And then there are 3 nodes way down that way, 500 meters. So do we want to bring all of those together somewhere and combine them into a giant copper factory or not? So let me know what you guys think about that. And thank you. I'll see you next time.